screen it here. All right. Yeah, and the first thing that my system wants to say, in addition to just being feel really fortunate and lucky, the last time we were together, you were encountering my podcasting parts, my interviewing parts, and I know you'll be encountering many other ones today, and I've been paying attention to my system throughout today, and have noticed in anticipation of our meeting, I felt a lot more like compacted and balls of additional pressure and tension. Again, the pressure is not from the recording. The pressure is from the anticipation of going internally with you, because I've only been with less seasoned IFS clinicians, shall we say. So my system kind of knows what it's signing up for. And with that said, there's also, just to name, there's a lot of cynicism. I've got many more than just one cynical part that kind of views my system, whether it's true or distorted, it views my system as special and unique and more fucked up, beyond any any hope, right? So ketamine experiences, well, it's not going to work for me, kind of stuff. And so with meeting with you, it's kind of the same narrative. That part is like, oh yeah, we know Bob is such a master, but you're so fucked up that none of this is gonna, right? So it's just,
it's not going to touch you. It's not going to touch you.
Same word. What do you mean by
that's the belief of these parts, right? That
right.
Nothing I could possibly do is going to touch you.
Right. Yeah. So.
And let them know I really welcome the cynical parts and skeptical parts. They're very, very welcome and very, very important. And I just hope, as an experiment, they give us room so that they can see, can this help or not? And they get to make a judgment. Are they willing to give us the room, sort of in the spirit of an experiment? Great.
I don't have clarity that they are.
Okay. I just sort of noticed the nodding and misunderstood.
Yeah. That.
We'll just check. You okay with this or not? Whatever's real. With me, please. Whatever's real.
That's right.
4-letter words. You can cuss at me. That's not a problem. But no make nice. No saying anything because you think you're supposed to.
That's right. All of my trait agreeable parts, they know that. Yeah. There's a part that wants to there's a part that wants to just name explicitly, even though post non-dual awakening, that shift into non-dual and coming away from atheism for nearly 30 years, that shift, and post the shift of multiplicity. And then I don't know if I told you this directly or maybe just in a Facebook review, but reading your book, the third shift in such a short amount of time to porosity and spirit possession, and really seeing it that way. There's a part that still wants to name. Yeah, I have an 8-year-old doubting part, and I've been in the desert of atheism for almost 30 years. So even though post all of these shifts, my system, even though the skeptical ones are welcome, they're still just like, they won't run this experiment. They're too stubborn. says another part. Says the part, the heal now, damn it part that just wants to sign up for the ketamine treatments and schedule with you and tries so hard to heal. It says, these ones just, and they've historically blocked my compassion.
Okay.
So I rarely get, go ahead.
Ask them what are you afraid would happen if you let this happen as an experiment? What's the worst disaster that could occur if you did that?
Well, the only thing I'm getting is the pain of hoping.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think I have thinking parts on board that I'm gonna try and have them settle. But that's what I got. The first answer is the worst disaster is we step back, we run the experiment, and then nothing changes and more dark clouds loom over your whole level 1 and further career for the next 30 years of working in this work. That's their big concern is they're afraid of failure. That's what they're afraid of. They say we'll run the experiment, you'll fail like you always have, right? And then we'll have all the evidence we need to never run it again, which is not a threat that they're making, but just like, then it would never be worth, they're pretty extreme, or sure of themselves anyway.
Hey, how are you feeling towards them as you see how they're stuck? Because they are pretty stuck in this.
They are. Yes, they are. Yeah, so I really love that question because there's two feelings that come up. One is the first and more prevalent feeling is anger towards them.
Okay.
For being the part that carries the anger towards them, sees them as the sole or multiple culprits responsible for blocking access to self.
Mm-hmm.
In my own work, as well as when I'm in the clinician chair.
Let's talk to anger. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, anger. Welcome. Makes sense you'd be really pissed off. Does it make sense to you, Robin, that you'd have a part that's really pissed off with these other guys?
Well, sure.
Yeah, let it know. You make sense. I get it. And you have every right to be really angry. And see how the anger responds to that.
Yeah, my connection with the angry one is really unclear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could it hear that message?
Which message?
That it makes sense, that it has every right to be angry. Could it hear that from you?
Yeah, it doesn't trust me.
Okay. Tell it this. There's no reason why you should trust me. That makes sense you don't trust me. It's my job and Bob's job to earn your trust.
Yeah. It's the same part. The one that had anger is feeling a lot of sadness and sorrow.
Yeah.
about not being able to trust me.
Yeah. Is it okay with you to be feeling all this big emotion?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Let the part know your emotion is very big and it's welcome with me now. It is very sad. And only if it's true for you, you might say to the angry part, I'm so sorry that things between us have gotten to a place where you don't trust me at all. I'm so sorry. And see how anger responds to that. How's it doing with all this?
Yeah, there's a um yeah, I guess I have my well-intentioned manager IFS informed subsystem of my system is regretting not having led with the unsurprisingly, what am I trying to say? There's a doubting part. I have a doubting part that is very good at throwing smoke over basically all of it, and really gets in the way of almost 90+%. This is an analytical one saying, right? Saying like so much of any of the efforts to heal. And so when I'm there with the angry part that's not so angry, but carries, I guess, anger and sorrow, and I say, it makes sense that you don't trust me, and I'm so sorry, right, for losing your trust. Me, Robin, not feeling any effort to do it, but offering that, apology that's true of heart. There's not I lose clarity from that true voice to the angry and sorrowful one, because this doubting part just always seems to jump in.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome, doubting part. Hi there.
Yeah, hi.
Don't go away. Please don't go away. You're a really important part of Robin's system. And I sort of have the impression that you haven't been welcomed very much ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've probably been hated all the time, huh? Is that about right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just ask it, Robin. Ask this part who throws the smoke up. Does it feel like you've been hated all the time? Never welcome.
It says hate's too strong of a word, but it activates a lot of annoyance in okay. Yeah, so it's not hatred, but it's annoying, right? Annoying, all that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell it, I for one am not annoyed at all. And I really want to get to know you because I know you're a really important part of Robin. And see how it responds to that.
So the doubting one is one of the many cynical and skeptical ones that, even though 99% of my system is fully on board in the IFS path and all of that, it's still so what it does, and I want to be respectful when I speak about it, but what it does is it takes me to this non-direct experience and the sort of the high level observer of everything, to make not criticisms, but to make, it just takes me out of direct experience.
Yeah.
And it does that to keep me safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand it really well. So say, hi there. It seems like you know how to dissociate me from my experience so that I don't have to feel a lot of pain. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's an important job, and it makes sense, and we respect what you do. Even though there's some sort of annoyed parts too.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. The almost immediately, yeah, the annoyed ones are look at all of the efforts, time, resources, you name it, spent to heal, and they see they have every right to feel annoyed with how this doubting one clouds
Okay.
it all. Yeah.
So we need to talk to the annoyed parts. Let's see if they'll be okay with just a brief little thing. Tell them, if we go to that cloud part with annoyance, it's not going to cooperate with us, and it's not going to be willing to change, or very unlikely to be willing to change. So if you guys with your annoyance could step back and give us room so we can go to that cloud part from self, from compassion, we're much more likely to be able to help it change in a big way. Are you annoyed parts willing to do that for us for a while today? Maybe not, maybe an hour. Not forever, just a little window here.
Yeah. So I can tell, Bob, that there's this like really striving part that's like, you know, all of the winnings in Vegas is on, 60 black or something, right? So it's like all of it relies on you, annoyed parts. You got to get out of here for us to go forward. So it carries this like,
okay, let's talk to that part. You got
anxious caregiver. Yeah.
You got quite a team here of interlocking protectors. It's really impressive.
Totally right.
Defense and depth.
Yes.
Tell these sort of rusher pusher parts.
Say that again.
Tell these rusher pusher parts, the ones who are going, we got it right now. That Dick says those are always the first parts he has to step back. Because when you rush and push something, when you pull against something, what it does is resists and pulls against you. And it's like when you're trying to untie a knot and you just pull harder, the knot just gets tighter. And I know it's a very natural response, but ask them, can you too just step back and give us room? See what they say.
I'm letting them know that I get how desperate they are. They're so desperate.
Yeah. Yeah. You can feel the
Yeah, I can feel yeah.
just stay with that a while, Robin, if that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
Like with anger, let them know if it's true for you. Your big feelings are welcome with me now. You don't have to hold this all by yourself. You're desperate for change. Something in here really hurts. I'm with you now. Your big feelings are welcome in me.
Yeah, I just want to hang out with, it seems like one, and I just want to be with it for a moment.
Great. Take your time. Yeah. Yeah.
Before I had a part, I guess, that was sure that this desperate part was gonna be anticipated to be really cooperative. That part was wrong about that. And I could feel it rarely gets that holding, that space, that love. So that's why I wanted to name out loud that I didn't want to proceed before just giving it all that
Good.
not aloneness.
Yeah. Yeah. It needs the connection with you.
Yes.
How are you feeling towards it now?
Lot of compassion.
Great. Offer it that. And let it know. We can stay with you the whole session, and that would be wonderful. Or we can go move on where we thought we were going and see what it wants. Tell it it really gets to choose now.
So it says it's a really nice gesture and a really nice offer, and it sort of, because of its role, it doesn't want to get in the way of more healing. So,
Okay.
because it's right, because it has a lot less of that desperate and pressured energy, because it felt me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get a pretty clear, like,
It's okay.
not panic, but it says, oh no, let's not take the another hour with me. Let's let's let you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know that maybe staying with it could be the best pathway.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't, it's very important to just ask it. Are you sure it's okay if we go somewhere else? Because we really can stay with you.
Yeah, I'll add. It kind of told me just follow up with me later, but
Okay.
I did want the doubting part. Of course, goes. Are you sure that's coming from it and not?
Yeah. Okay, so just double check.
Right. Yeah, it's clear because it's just I feel its energy is so much less upset and charged. It's relaxed now.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is a matter of it saying, just come back to me, come back.
Great.
And by the way, I should just say, unlike other parts of my system, it's counting on me doing that, and it's not cynical about me saying I would but not following up with it. So
great.
I have self-conscious parts that are like, yeah, they're like sort of like, yeah, you don't follow up with us, so like you can say to it you'll follow up with it, but we know you're not always a man of your word, et cetera, et cetera. But to this one, it doesn't carry that cynicism. It's just saying follow up with me, and I told it I would. So that's crystal clear.
Good. So back to the part who was holding the anger, and then they had some big sadness too. Yeah. How are you feeling towards that one now?
I don't have a good connection with it.
Okay. Is there something in the way, or is it just this part's not really wanting to come forward right now? Hi, is somebody coming up here and blocking this?
So okay, so yeah, I have yeah, I do. Not blocking intentionally, at least not to my knowledge, but the invitation to return to that one, the younger one that has anger and sorrow in its heart. There must be a part that when I have that invitation to go to this new one, it's an analytical one or something that says, okay, this one with anger or sorrow in its heart, is it 8 years old? That part's trying to help me find it.
Out. Okay, ask it, please. No figuring out. It's too early. We're in data collection. And every scientist knows that if you start analysis when the data collection is incomplete, the analysis is faulty and the data collection gets messed up. So ask this part, can you help us stay with data collection? We really need to open up all our sensory modalities. And that takes everything we got. Can you help us with that?
I'm not getting a clear thumbs up. Yeah. I'm not getting a clear thumbs up, and it's also I don't get strong visuals with parts, but I can feel them in my body, and sometimes I get visuals. But with this figuring it out part, that was as soon as we shifted to, okay, let's find this other one, and it just sort of in thought, you know, I go inside and there's darkness, and in thought it starts to, you know, say, okay, or here's its belief. In order to connect with it, like, how old is it? You know, so it gives me that stuff. And when you invite me to ask it, you give it that pitch. Of course, I've heard that pitch on other videos, of course. But it doesn't, I don't connect with it necessarily. I lose touch with the figuring it out part that you were giving that message to. I lose touch with that part.
Okay, so here's how we find out. As you think about how are you feeling towards the part who held the anger and sadness now, right now?
Yeah, I I just don't have connection with it like I knew how it felt when we were connected with it many minutes ago. Or
Okay.
it was blended with me, I suppose. I could feel its anger, and then I could feel its your compassion, and therefore its sorrow in its heart, but I can't feel its connection.
Okay. Hmm. Ask the angry part, even though you can't feel it connected. Do you need to hide from us? If you do, it's okay. We won't dig you out.
Oh, well, really appreciate that question. Uh, the moment you asked if it needed to hide, um, my mind associated to hiding from my father's anger. So it just so that word, do you need to hide? And it's not hiding anger, hiding angry feelings, but hiding from anger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what came up was, you know, the many times when I would hide, when I would know that the headlights are coming and I know my dad's coming home, and I would just go take a bath, because in the bathtub I have privacy. I can create the sort of a pretty safe boundary from that anger.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. So how are you feeling towards this part? So lets you see some more of its emotion and its reality.
Yeah, I feel um, a mixture of uh, it's not pity, so it's compassion, but there's also sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part that's sad on its behalf, and then there's my compassion for it.
And self can be sad too. So offer it your compassion and sadness for how it was stuck, and see if it can take in any of that and how it responds.
I just want to first, my student learner part is just saying thank you for saying self can be sad too, so that I don't have interpretive non-necessary splitting. Okay. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm offering it.
And see if it can take some in. It's really a big deal for parts like this to receive.
I'm there with him in the bathroom.
Mhm.
Me, not looking at me, but me
Mhm.
with him.
And how is it for him to have you there with him? Just ask him.
Yeah, he wants to know if I'm real.
Okay. Okay. Does he know who you are? Ask him, do you know who I am?
Yeah, this is where this is where the annoyed parts point at the intellect that takes me 10,000 feet above and takes me out of directness, all that.
Ask,
So,
ask them all. Ask them all. Just lay back, gang. Let us stay with this boy. It's really important we just stay with the boy in the bathtub. All the rest of that stuff, please just give us another hour. Less than an hour. Let the boy know I'm you all grown up. We survived. We made it. Yes, I'm real.
so
Seems, go ahead.
I'm feeling uh the sorrow, um
Mhm.
uh all the all of the downstream consequences, all the downstream stress and anxiety and fear I'm feeling. It's not it doesn't seem to be this young one. It seems to be like, you know, innumerable older me's that are feeling sorrow because of all of the stuff they carry that's linked back.
Mhm. Yeah. And again, is it okay with you to be having these big emotions?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Let all your parts know these are really big emotions and I can handle them. Yeah. Now ask the boy in the bathtub how old he thinks you are and the first number that pops into your head, Robin.
Yeah, it's eight. It's eight.
Okay. So you need to give him an update. You need to show him your life from the time you were 8 to where you are now with enough, just headlines or video clips or something, with enough details so that he knows you're still that same 8-year-old. And let me know when you've got him all the way up to the present. And don't try and hide any tough times from him. It's really important that he come to know that you got through them. You went through some tough stuff and you've survived.
This is going to take a bit. Just
as much detail as he needs, no more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you saying that. Yeah, he's blown away.
Yeah. Now, ask him, you know this is real, right? We could prove it to you. I could show you my driver's license or something if you need. This is really real. I'm a fully adult man now with a lot of skill and strength and experience.
Yeah, part of me wishes you hadn't asked that question. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, he's not the doubting part, but maybe the doubting one's in him. Like he carries doubt about all this stuff. So he was, when I was sharing the updates from my life,
Mm-hmm.
he was kind of like, wow, that's really cool. He's blown away. And when you prompted me, make sure he knows this is real. It's almost as if that prompt kind of for him reminded him like, oh yeah, wait, maybe this isn't real.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Tell him we want to know all your doubts because this is real and we can show it to you. It's fine that you doubt.
Yes.
You had every reason not to trust. Every reason. It's wonderful you can trust it all.
I told him also it's wonderful you can doubt.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got a mind of your own.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah, it feels really good for him to hear that, he doesn't have to believe anything he doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just because I'm, not insisting, but inviting him to consider that it's real. And he appreciates the how wide of an experience that is to be with. Like, it's okay if I don't believe you. Like, he really appreciates that.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I said to him, I can keep coming back. To which an IFS part says, no, don't do that. Let's get him out. Yeah. But I said to him, just as a gesture of, you can take as long as you need. Yeah. To be with that, not trusting if I'm real or not. And I can just keep coming back and being with you, not with the agenda to prove you wrong, but just to be with that doubt that you have in your heart.
Okay. And tell him this. We can also stay with him right now as much as he wants.
Yeah. I have a part that hears the thunder and hopes that we don't lose power. And just saying it out loud. So I asked him if I told him we could just hang out here. You know, he doesn't want to stay in the bathwater this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that gets cold eventually. And I just asked him if he needed anything.
Mm-hmm. And tell him this, when he's ready, we can witness him completely, how bad it was for him back then. And then we can get him out of there to a safe place. He'll never ever have to go back. And we can get all of those beliefs and feelings and emotions and energies he had to take in back then out of him. And then he'll be a whole lot freer. And we could do that today if he wants, or not. It's up to him.
Yeah, so what he was, when I asked him, I register everything you said, Bob. When I asked him if he needed anything, he said protection. He said protection from what he's afraid of, which is my dad's anger. And that was his only answer when I asked what he needed. So protection. And then when you said, you know, let him know that we can witness him fully. And you know, he's sort of technically like, I don't understand how you can get me out of here.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And also not wanting to rush the witnessing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tell him the key thing about getting him out of there is that he let you know everything he wants you to know about how hard it was for him back then when his dad had this terrible, scary anger. And when he feels you really understand it and get it, and that he's not alone with it anymore, then you and he together can leave there and find someplace safe. He doesn't have to know how to do that.
Yeah.
We know how to do that.
Yeah. I remember. So he's telling me he knows his dad loves him, and yet the anger is still so scary.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, you know, he doesn't have 100% confidence that that scary anger couldn't potentially be turned on him.
Yep. Yep. Completely makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And again, if it's having these big feelings is okay with you, tell him your big feelings are welcome with me now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to keep them to yourself. You don't have to be alone with anything anymore. Yeah, it's doing real great to let you know stuff. Encourage him. Keep letting you know everything he wants you to know about how hard it was. So he's not left alone with anything anymore.
Yeah, there's he shares two other the invitation that he doesn't have to be alone with these two other experiences of holding books on his knees, stacking books, with arms stretched out this way and the weight of the books weighing him down, inflicting harm, pain. It's a story I told my first therapist. But so adult me told his story, but he's bringing it up to me now.
Okay.
As one of the things he wants me to know, how hurt he was by that.
Yeah.
So that was less fear and more, willful parental hurting.
Yep. Ask him this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ask him this. Ask him, when your father was hurting you that way, what happened in your heart? He doesn't need to use words if he doesn't want to.
He just said it was breaking.
Yeah. We let him know, I can be here with you as it breaks. You don't have to be alone.
I just want to name the anxious crew of parts here that are like biting their nails as they hear the thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, don't lose power. They take me out of it, so I'm back. I'm sort of letting them know it's okay. Even if we lose power, it's okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And if it's right for you and him, ask him, is there more? We don't want you left alone with anything.
Yeah, I didn't need to ask him. There's, the feeling hurt by his dad broke his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And also, excuse me, in that same constellation of experiences, there's a memory of that hurt, a different instance of the hurt, but like running out of the house and being all worked up and not being able to breathe, from all the crying. But the memory, this might be a memory that's not his necessarily. It's so yeah, I might have some greedy IFS parts that are like, let's get all of this stuff and
Ask them all to step back and just stay with the relationship with the boy.
Yeah.
Ask them, we don't really want to hear your opinions now. We need to stay with whatever the boy wants you to know. We can judge its reality later if we need to. What matters now is the relationship to that boy. And that he know that you're here with him unconditionally.
Yeah, so he was also kind of the flavor of both of those experiences of being scared and hurt, uh, hearing my brother suffering, so being scared but also sad for my brother's suffering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm letting him know, of course,
Yeah.
I get how scary that was and how hurtful that was to hear him too. So scared, sad, and hurt all are carried in and pinched up in his heart.
Yeah. And just let him know we're going to stay here with you and witness as much of this as you want witnessed. We want to keep doing this until you, the boy, feels that Robin really gets who you are and how it was back then. Is he still showing you stuff, Robin? Great, great. Just stay with him.
Yeah. Um, it feels, yeah, there was that clarifying point of, yeah, another part kind of wanting to connect another memory to this one.
Okay.
But it's asked me to let him settle down and just come back to him.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels complete. It feels, you know.
Okay, great. Now, are you back there with him in that time?
Yeah, he's got, like, at one point when he wanted to get out of the bathtub, I wrapped him in a towel, and then, you know, he didn't want to stay in the towel the whole time as he's showing me all this stuff. So he's sort of in his PJs.
Okay, great. So I
Yeah.
asked him this. Do you want me to do anything with you or for you back here before we go? Do we need to say anything to anybody? Or you just want to come away to someplace safe? See what he wants. It's whatever he wants.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking. Can you hear this thunder? He's thinking about so without any judging parts, you know, that look at the spectrum between courage and cowardice, he's kind of thinking to himself, like, how's that gonna work? He's kind of like, again, kind of like, I'm just asking him what you invited me to ask him, and he's just kind of like, so he's scared to
He's scared to
confront his dad, and I'm letting him know he doesn't have to confront him. I can do that.
yeah, but only if he wants.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
And you'll do it for him if he wants you to do it. But if not, we can just come away.
I'm not getting any strong indication that he needs anything else.
Okay.
I'm sort of taking that as implicit thumbs up.
Yeah. Let's go. So tell him, you take him maybe by the hand or whatever's best for the two of you, and just say, now we get to go to someplace safe and comfortable. It can be with me in my present life, might be out in nature, someplace you like, might be someplace we imagine together. What's important is that you feel safe. That's what really matters here. And let me know when you found a place that seems good to you.
I'm doing this whole dance that he doesn't have to know how it works, because of course he is very kind of needs to know how it all works. Carries that. I'm letting him know, though, he just has to pick.
Yep. And you two, and tell him the best way to know about this stuff's to do it. Theories about how it works are not so important. it's like if you know how to ride a bicycle, it doesn't help. You got to get on the bicycle and ride it. All the theories in the world don't really do much. It's like that, like riding a bicycle.
Well, of course, the moment you say that, the answer crystallizes. Where I learned how to ride a bike, he's like, that sounds good. Let's go to Ocean City.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it'd be really good if he's willing to come forward in time to this era with you.
Yeah, we would be going to the same place, but in the present day.
Great. Wonderful.
The same condo, but in 2023.
Great. Okay. So tell him two things now. I'll be taking care of you now. You never, ever have to go back there. Now ask him, are you willing to get those extreme emotions and beliefs and energies you had to take in back then? Are you ready to let all of that flow out of your body? And see what he says.
Yeah, he again, I tell him that. So I'm there in Ocean City in the thundering rain. We're under the sort of the carport area where we can just be, in shelter. This thunderstorm is impacting the present moment. And I ask him that, and again, surprise, surprise, Bob. You know what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says,
tell him just try it and see if it works for you. That's the real empirical method. Scientists don't have their theories up front. They make the experiment first.
yes. Yeah, he's ready.
Okay. Now tell him it's best if we put this gunk into something. Burn it in the fire, have the rain wash it off of him.
That's exactly what he wants. He wants the rain to wash it away.
Okay, so tell him, just step out into the rain and let it wash you clean of all those big emotions, all those beliefs you took in about yourself, and all those big energies. It can just, it's easy. It's a natural process like opening your hands. It's not a lot of effort. It's just letting go. And the rain will wash you. All that fear you had to hold on to back then, that can all get washed away now. How's that going for him? Is stuff still coming out?
I had to insist that a skeptical, doubting part that his job is to be like, you fail a lot at things. Are you sure you're doing this right too? Like, so I have that part that takes my attention away from being in the rainstorm in Ocean City.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, protect the boy so that he can do this. Just let the rain wash him clean. Wherever that gunk is lodged in his body, it can fall away now. Yeah. And your breath knows how to do it. It can help you. Your body knows how to do this. You have the wisdom in you. Yeah, let your body do what it wants. Let your breath do what it wants. Knows how to wash this stuff and release it. Stuff still coming out?
It's unclear because
The guys in the bleachers are making a lot of noise again, huh?
they're really, yeah,
Hey
yeah.
hey guys, come on. Just a few more minutes and we'll quit, honest.
Yeah, they say it's not about time. They say we just continue to doubt that
Yeah, okay.
this is,
Yeah, okay. I get it.
yeah.
Here's how you can find out. Let us complete this process and then notice if there's any change in Robin in the next days and weeks and months. Then you'll know. That's scientific. That's an experiment.
Uh-huh.
And ask them, please let us complete this process. And ask the boy, is there any more stuff coming out?
He feels pretty exhausted. Yeah.
Okay. Ask him something. I want to ask him, I know he's tired, but a few more places I really want him to check. Check the back of your heart. A lot of times in your back there's a big scabby thing that can fall off and then a bunch of gunk comes out of the back of your heart. I don't know if it'll be like that for him, but it might be. Yeah, let that gunk go. Don't need that. The rain can take that. Lots of stuff can get in there. And encourage him just to start way at the top of his head and slowly scan down his whole body, letting go of anything that doesn't belong to him, that's on him or in him, anything like that. Down his whole body, any place he might have missed, under his arms, between his fingers, all the way down, down, down. And when he gets down to the soles of his feet, a lot of parts find that the last of the gunk comes out like from a faucet. It just pours right out. Yeah, yeah. Now, tell him that a lot of parts at this time find this next thing a lot of fun. Tell him it's about letting new, good, sweet qualities come in that can fill those places that got emptied in him. Very often they just sort of emerge from deep inside him where they were sort of buried. Sometimes they come in from the outside too. And they'd be the qualities he most wants, he most admires and loves. They can start to flower in him now and grow and fill him. And if he wants, he can call out those qualities, or he can keep them secret. Whatever's better for him.
One of the bleacher guys says he sucks at keeping secrets. Right, but he doesn't. It's not that he wants to keep it a secret. He's immediately saying open-mindedness. So curiosity and open-mindedness and open-heartedness.
Great, really important ones. Encourage him, take in plenty. It's not greedy at all, because the more you take in, the more goes out to everyone around you, all your loved ones. So it's not at all greedy to take lots and lots and lots.
He says forgiveness.
Yeah.
And trust.
That's a big one. We're just going to stay with him until he feels really full and he's overflowing with good stuff.
Yeah, I'm mindful that these are coming from him and not
Great.
IFS know-it-all parts.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
So he says permission to relax.
Yeah.
So he has no problem having fun, but permission to, have the non-excitatory, relaxation and enjoyment without the big energy. Yeah, just relaxing.
Yeah, lay back. And when he's full, and he can continue to fill up in the days to come, but we want to bring him to some place where you and he can be together and where you can meet with him daily or, real frequently, so that he knows this is a whole new relationship. Maybe with you in your house or someplace in nature near you. You might go visit him there in Ocean City if he really loves that. But see, where's a good place for him to live now?
Yeah, he has to think about that because he says, I could come live with you, but this place is pretty great,
There's no rule that says he can't have two places.
That's right. Yeah. So he's sort of like, I want the option to come with you at your home, but I like it here too. So I think he's set for waiting for good weather. He's like, I'm at Ocean City, but it's been a shit storm. He doesn't say this. He says it's been bad weather, so he wants to stay there.
Okay, great. So he's got the two places. Okay, thank him very much. And I think he's complete. Is he okay, or does he need anything else?
He wants to make sure he can get into the condo, so he's not just left out in the rain. Yeah,
good. You want to go show him how to do that and give him the key and everything?
Yeah, I'm taking him up the flights of stairs. Oh, that's so good.
Great. Now, Let's talk to all the parts who step back and let us do this. Hi, gang. Thank you so much. We could not have done this without your giving us your permission. And I know it was hard for you to step back. I can
Incredibly.
I can sense it was really hard. So I really appreciate it. Do any of you need to say anything now in our last few minutes together?
Yeah. Well, do they need to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something I want to say to them, but they get to go first.
Yeah. They just don't. They like I told you, Bob, 30 years in atheism, and so they're just like, you expect us to buy this. That's what they say.
I expect you to check it out over the next days and weeks and months ahead.
Yeah.
And then you'll know, did this make a difference or not? That fair?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. They sort of want you and I to know how not negative, but how just like we don't buy it,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No reason why you should.
They're allowed to.
Yeah. Here's what I want to say to them that's very, very important, I think.
Yeah.
There is no human suffering, absolutely no human suffering that's so terrible it cannot be made better. None. There is no human suffering so terrible that it can't be made better. That's real important.
Yeah, most of my system is on board, and the rest they're gonna welcome your words and leave them at the door, so to speak.
Okay, and they can chew on them. I used to have a partner who was a hospice nurse, and this one woman was dying of gangrene. Literally, her body was slowly rotting away, and she found a way to be peaceful and joy-filled as she died in that horrible, horrible way. And it radiated out of her so powerfully that all these people came to be with her, even though the stench of gangrene is enough to make people vomit. There is no human suffering so terrible it can't be made better.
You're saying, Bob, that they came to be with her because of the overwhelming positivity that was coming off of her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. I may have heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a similar story.
Yeah, lots of other things like that. Viktor Frankl finding meaning in Auschwitz.
Mm-hmm.
There's no human suffering that can't be made better.
I have to say, as we were going through that process, yeah, I had parts knowing what I know about you, because of course you know that I learned a lot about you before our first meeting, and so I had parts in that process that were talking about, they were kind of saying like, oh, boo hoo, your dad scared you, knowing what I know about you, Bob. So they felt like putting it all in the comparison. They're like, oh, boo hoo, there's a lot of negativity in my system, really a lot of
very determined protectors, very complex interlocking protective system.
Yeah.
And they're well intentioned. So I gotta go, Robin. Blessings.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.